So here I got the 3-day chart, 5-minute candles for the PHUN Funwear Company. So why we're talking about this is because it gapped up yesterday on the 16th of June, sold off, and then bounced off about 115, 120-ish level, hit about 170 plus, and then it hit over 190 in after hours, and then ultimately dumped today to the 130s, right? So we draw a down uptrend here. It's clearly broke out of it, right? And let's go over a quick feel fundamentals on it. On their last 10K, says there's 41 million shares pretty much as of May 12th. But it's worth noting their profit was cut in half from 2019 to 2020. They're losing a lot of more money, so they're not in a good situation like that. On the positive note, they have a big backlog apparently, but still they're unprofitable, and they've been around 11 years, so that's worth noting. So why I really want to talk about this is because it was a clear pump, and we'll talk about why. So how did I know? At 10:37, I said they will have plenty of fun pumping this one next. So as all these pumpers just trickle their calls from the field big guys that make them originally, I saw Cam the man say something about 10:30 about FUN. And FUN's an infamous stock that gets pumped and dumped probably a couple times a month. So I instantly knew that's this line right here at 10:30. So here we go. We put everything right there, and look to the left side of it on the volume on the bottom down here. Look how little volume there is until then. Then it ends up pushing from 130. I get in at 130, I think 138, 139, and ended up taking my profit about, I think, 160. I put my limit at 160. They got hit. I could have sold for more, but I was happy with that, and it ended up going short at 168, in which I covered today. Some at 150 and a little at 145. So also a little early, but I locked in the gain. So what happened? Why did it go? It wasn't just Cam. I'm not saying Cam pumped it. He actually didn't. He just said one thing. I don't know what he's doing on his Discord, but people always take some of these people's calls. So check this out. At 11:17, Ultra calls, the infamous pumper on here, starting to move here. Big product tease. Thursday has a webinar. This is going to $2.50 by Thursday. Before Thursday, like IZEA and GNUS. So he names others stocks that they're recent runners that ran like huge amounts. Like this is the next one. Then he hits you right with the $4 price target. Well, any experienced trader knows you can find any penny stock and there will be price targets that are significantly higher than the current price. 500%, 1000%. They don't mean anything. If they always went to them, we'd all just sit and wait and get rich. It's the complete opposite. So definitely going to see a nice squeeze into this webinar. Blah, 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 right? That's all like 8 things within a few minutes. Pushes it pretty much all night, pretty much talking about top overnight, multi-day, $4 price target. Hell no. They took the profits right there on that pump. So for now going forward, because I like to play these pumps, because now people will stick around and try to catch the bounce. Probably too early, but that offers opportunity with the volatility. So I'm thinking we might see a bounce off this 135 to about 145 to where VWAP was today. I'm not saying it will pop over VWAP. I'd sell right there probably unless it pushed over strongly, but I might be looking for a 150 test And if it can't hold the 135 level, I'll stop out real quick at like 132, 131, 130-ish. With the 3% loss tops. And I'll be looking for the low right here. Let's move this to 130 off this support. Off the previous resistance, because resistance will become support, right? So if that can't hold, so I'm willing to risk 3.3% with my load right there. If the 130 can't hold, my next one's gonna be right here, 122. I'll try to get a bounce off 122. So I'm in at 135 overnight. I'm not gonna cut my losses until about 130, 129. Because I don't know if it's gonna test that. And if it does break underneath there, I'm looking for the add at 122. In which I'll probably then try to sell back at 135, 140. So I'm really just gonna scalp this. I think it's gonna offer a lot of volatility, but I don't think it's gonna just pop right back up. Don't think it will. So the next one I want to go over is CEMI. Look at this shit show. $11, $10.30. Boom. To the threes today, right? And we gotta get a better feel. So here's the 100-day daily candles. So look at this huge momentum. Came all the way back to where it started. That's the wrong way. Let's check this out. So this is what happened. Oh no, this is their last 10Q. They got 17.5 million shares as of April 29th, so it's pretty low float. So I mean, it had 170 plus million market cap, and what now it's got like a under 70 million. Took a huge hit. But why did it go on that run in the first place? It's quite clear when we look at what happened and caused the dip. As anyone knows that's already traded this, it says they received a letter from the FDA notifying that they're revoking their EUA granted in April 2020 in respect to our DPP COVID system. So the FDA pulled their ability to use whatever this is, their COVID product. So that was why it was running, and it lost pretty much all its momentum from that. So the question is it going to gap up? Is there going to be any bounce? And usually it take a while and there's some bleeding, but the reason we're going to talk about this is the infamous Lion Master, the modern day Jordan Belfort, in a little Asian man body. So this guy right here, he's pumping stocks the minute that market closes. So he comes with full research 1-2 minutes after, or actually he comes in 11 minutes today before. In big here. I will do a full stock analysis report this evening why this stock should be valued at a minimum $6. 10 minutes later, $10 per share. 3 minutes later, he shows he's in, big size at $3.89, so that's worth noting. Blah, blah, blah. He's going to pump this all damn night, I guarantee it. It's also worth noting they all work in little packs, so sure enough, D-Man shows up, and he's bumping it too, so there's going to be lots of volume on this bounce, and he actually will force the squeeze on people with algorithms, Lion Master. So it's worth trading. I mean, it's worth noting also the 200 SMA is at 629. But before you get caught in some crazy ass price targets, let's look at this. Let's go back to 5-minute candles and let's look at the 10-day. Let's go closer. So the first level before it needs to break is 415. If it's not over 415 in pre-market, I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna wait definitely to try to load 370. If 370 can't load, ideally I would be loading at 350. The minute it breaks under 350, it's all out panic because no one's seen it that low for a long time, and it will probably maybe even hit 3. So that'd be my ideal thing. Is this is weak in pre-market, I get a real low average below everyone. But say Lion Match just wakes up early in the morning, slaps this irrationally up like he seems to always do, I'm gonna be looking for about 475 first. That's where I like profits. That would be my first target. There's gonna be no resistance until then. I mean, this is pretty hard because of the. And then I'd go next would be the 200 SMA. So 475 was my first price target. The second one would be 570. That's if the $4 holds, and you load the 4, and it breaks the 415. Or if it breaks 415 and hangs out there, you load the 415. Look for the 475 and look for the 520. But if the 4 doesn't load, I'm looking for that 370 load or that 350 load. And if that can't hold, $3 load. And if that doesn't load, we're going to look to load 275. $275, and if that can load, $235. If we're talking all out panic. But my guess is the 370 probably will hold at least. So I'll be looking for the 370 or the 350 load ideally, but I'll probably have to end up loading in the 370 or $4 load, and I'll be quick to put my stop loss at 475 as soon as it hits it. And if it pushes right to that 520, I'll do the same and put my stop loss at 520. And then from there, I don't think it's gonna go back to 8. I think that's crazy. So from there, I'd say $6 load. Sell at 6. So 475, 526, and then here, and then 635. Those are my price targets. But realize this is going to be a pump tomorrow. It's going to be a pump and a half. So they're going to act like that news isn't anything, and the company had a lot of other value elsewhere. But it's also worth noting, I didn't go through it, is just check this out. So that's the news. Here we go. My bad. So check this out. Their revenue has shrunk too this year, from 8.5 million to 6.8 million. 8.5 to 6.8. So they're not growing as a company, and to see their losses. Their losses have grown from 3 million to 4.4 million. So it's an unprofitable company at the end of the day. It should have never been there in the first place, and someone got lucky and probably shorted it from 15 and is now covering it 4. That would have been the ideal situation after riding it maybe. So this will be fun.